In this video, I'm going to show you guys some of the various cognates in the various Germanic languages. This is barely touching the surface of all the words these languages have in common, but here's just a very few. The Old Norse word mistaka is turned into the Old English word mistinken, which means mistaken. The modern High German, which is the modern German spoken in Germany, is missverstehen, which means misunderstood, and the modern English equivalent is to mistake or be mistaken. Now, the Old Norse word loft, which is spelled L-O-P-T, but the Old Norse pronounced the P-T as an F-T, loft, turned into the Icelandic word loft, and the modern High German luft, and the Old English lift, and the modern English equivalent would be lofty, which the word luft means air. Now, while we use the word air, which comes from the Latin word in modern English, we still have a variation of the loft word. For example, Lucy in the movie Dracula said this: "Lofty timbers, the walls around are bare, echoing our laughter as though the dead were there." Now, the word lofty implies that it's spacious and there's a lot of air between the walls. Now, the word I in modern German, referring to ourself, excuse me, not modern German, modern English. The word I in modern English comes from the Old English ich, which is spelled I-C in Old English, but in Dutch it's spelled I-K. Now, the Germans, they say ich, but in some dialects of German they say ich as well, and it's spelled I-C-H in German. And in Middle English, some dialects also used ich, which is spelled I-C-H, the same as in German. If you've ever heard the Middle English song Mir It Is, they used the word ich in there. Another word that comes from Old Norse and English is stark, for strong. Stark means strong in various Germanic languages. It's Swedish, German, English, and it comes from the Old Norse styrke, and the Old English equivalent is the styrk. Now, the word have in English comes from the German hab, and the infinitive verb haben is to have in modern High German, which is again the standard German, and the Old English equivalent to have is haben, which is very similar to haben in German, only it's spelled H-A-B-B-A-N rather than B-E-N at the end. Now, the word book in English comes from the German word Buch, and the Old English equivalent to book is Buch, and this word comes from the Buche, the Old German word for the beech tree, and the beech tree is what the Norse used to inscribe on. Another word the Germanic languages have in common is the word father. In Old Norse it is father. Faroese also shares the same word. In Old English it's fader. In Swedish it's fadern. In German it's vater. In Dutch it's vader. And if you've ever watched Star Wars, you know about Darth Vader. His name comes from the Dutch word for father, as he is Luke's father. And in English, of course, the word is father. One important character in the history of the English language is the thorn character. The thorn character represents the sound th. The thorn comes from the Futhark, the writing system used by the Germanic people before the adoption of the Latin alphabet. The Futhark is often known as the runic alphabet. When written down, the thorn often looks similar to the Y, which was from the Latin alphabet. Because of this, the English often wrote down the word thee with a Y, as they did with the word thou. This made it look like the word you in modern English. They often wrote these words in a shorthanded manner, with the last letter of the word written above the Y. Over time, the Y was beginning to be used properly rather than a substitute for the thorn, and people began to write thou and thee with a th. However, some people still use the Y character as the thorn, but the proper speakers and writers of English pronounced that as a Y when they saw it this way, giving birth to the modern English U. Now, while the word thee was written as ye back then, it was never pronounced as ye. I'm sure you have all seen a shop that has the title written as Ye Old Shop, and you probably think it is said as ye. However, this is a fallacy.
It is we listen very last with Fugel's song. The sun will